Taking a bullet for Kara would be the easiest thing I ever did for her. A very large amount of pain in an instant would be so much easier than the daily disciplines required to be a good husband. And you can apply this to fatherhood, your marriage, to being a man. And that's why people give up. If you take a bullet for your wife, will you eat healthy for her? Will you go to the gym for her? Will you control your emotions? Control your anger for her? And my challenge to myself for 2026 is to take a bullet for my wife daily, to put the foods in my mouth that I need to put in my mouth to be the person I need to be, to go to the gym and train like a freaking warrior that I'm going to be required to be as a husband and a father. And this is infinitely harder than taking one large lump of pain. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the final episode of 2025. I cannot believe we made it. Ups and downs, struggling with motivation to do this thing, but I am super pumped about how the podcast went this year. We've grown so much in the first year, and I am so excited about next year and what we got going on. So with that being said, some housekeeping stuff. I am breaking up the YouTube channels. So I've had the Art of Suffering podcast on the 310 EDU YouTube channel. It needs its own YouTube channel. So I created an Art of Suffering podcast YouTube channel. You can search Dalton Darnell and find that. I'm going to keep my educational roping content and then my ministry content separate, so that the algorithm can find new believers that aren't interested in roping and that sort of deal, because I'm posting two separate things, and so YouTube's getting kind of confused. So if you are an avid podcast listener, please go subscribe to that channel. Starting a new YouTube channel is tough. Getting people to view it and see it. I have all of season one's episodes up, so there's 50-something episodes on there already. All of the new podcast episodes in 2026 on YouTube are going to go to that platform. If you are a listener on Spotify or Apple Podcast, any of the audio platforms, that's not going to change at all. So that's still going to be coming out, Spotify, Apple Podcast, wherever you get yours. But for my YouTube people, I need you to go subscribe to that channel, please. Even if you are an audio listener, go subscribe to the channel anyway. It'll shoot you a notification if you hit the little bell every time I post a new episode. The schedule for 2026, I'm going to do less guest episodes and more solo episodes, so I'm going to try to post more. I don't think one episode a week is enough. It's not enough for me. I've been listening to sermons and podcasts pretty much every day. So I want to give you guys as much content as I can. So my posting schedule for 2026 is going to be Mondays and Fridays. The Monday episode is just going to be whatever I can come up with or anything I've been reading or talking about. We're going to cover some books this year. I'm not going to read the books this time. I'm just going to kind of go through my highlighted sections. And then Fridays is going to be the weekly progressive overload, how we can progressively overload as men, husbands, fathers, and then for the kingdom. So that's going to be kind of my structure for 2026. I'm going to do my best to stick to that schedule, kind of get way ahead on that deal, and have those episodes coming out for you guys. Today, I want to start, just kidding, I want to finish the year with a thought. I was listening to a song this week called Bullet by NF. And if you've never heard of NF, he's kind of he's a rapper, but he's got some Christian influence in him. And I just really like his style, and he's really good to listen to in the gym. He'll really get you hyped up. So I listen to him in the gym. But the song he's talking about taking a bullet for his wife. And in thinking about that, I was like, man, like taking a bullet for Kara would be the easiest thing I ever did for her. Like taking a bullet, a very large amount of pain in an instant would be so much easier than the daily disciplines required to be a good husband. And you can apply this to fatherhood. You can apply this to your marriage. You can apply this to being a man. And that's why people give up, because the daily disciplines are the hard part. right? So if you take a bullet for your wife, will you eat healthy for her? Will you go to the gym for her? Will you control your emotions, control your anger for her? And the same applies to our children. So my conviction for myself and my challenge to myself for 2026, since we're coming up on the new year this week, is to take a bullet for my wife daily, to take a bullet for my children daily, to put the foods in my mouth that I need to put in my mouth to be the person I need to be, to go to the gym and train like a freaking warrior that I'm going to be required to be as a husband and a father. And this is infinitely harder than taking one large lump of pain. This is sacrificing your life to the King and choosing to do hard things day in and day out, and then choosing to do it in a heart posture that is thankful for the opportunity to be able to do these things. And so that's my challenge for us this year, for me and for you. If you're going to come on this journey with me, you're going to walk down the road with me, I'm going to offer the challenge to you as well. And I hope that we can do it together. I hope you guys comment below, hey, this is what I'm getting after this week. This is what I'm going to do to be better this week. Because that's what this podcast is. It's an attempt for me to sit here with you and share my goals, my dreams, my aspirations, my journey at transforming into a better man. And I think through watching that and sharing that and the conviction that I've gotten from this podcast is unbelievable, dude. It's unbelievable because I sit here and I say to you guys, like, I'm 6 months sober, man. I had been 6 months sober since I was 18 years old. And I haven't even, me and Kara talked about it. We went on a date last night. We talked about it. We're both sitting there drinking our Coke Zero. We call them fridge cigarettes. The Coke Zero is our fridge cigarette, which is hilarious. We're sitting there drinking our Coke Zero, and we're like, man, we don't even want to drink. And we have people in our family who are like, y'all don't drink at all, like not even socially or never. And we're like, no, we don't even want to. It's not profitable for us, right? All things are lawful, but not all things are profitable. And so this transformation that I've gone on over the last 365 days, and I credit a lot of it to sitting in front of this camera and talking to you guys and telling you guys what's going on. And so I would love to see this podcast grow. That's why I started its own YouTube channel, so it can get in the algorithm and we can be more in the ministry or the side of YouTube that pushes to believers. Because right now my EDU channel, it pushes to people who want to rope, which is awesome. That's what it needs to do. 310 EDU needs to grow as a business, and then as just helping people get down the road in that way too. But this is a different thing. This is me being obedient to what God is asking me to do. And God is asking me to share my life with you guys, to love people in this way, to love believers in this way. And make no mistake, man, like, this thing is a lot. Like, podcasts look easy if you're listening to them or watching them. They're a freaking lot. It's the most. It's a lot of extra work. But God's asking me to do it. And I dedicated myself to being obedient last year, and I feel like I've done that. I've never felt better about my mission for the kingdom than I do right now. My mission for the kingdom is whoever listens to the other side of this. My mission for the kingdom are the people who come to the clinics. My mission for the kingdom are the people who work for me at 310 Ranch Life. Loving those people, sharing my life with those people, and watching them change. And there's going to be some unbelievable stories that come out of the people that God is affecting through all of these three entities. It's unbelievable. But I'll tell you guys this, and I finished up my edit of my book. The name of the book is Never Weaken. And it's talking about finding your identity and your purpose through Christ. And then in book 2, 3, 4, and 5, we're going to talk about the kind of the progression of this identity and how it's used in your life. But getting my marriage in a good spot, getting my relationship with my children in a good spot. This all takes a lot of time. Has given God the opportunity to use me in the kingdom. Without the support of my wife, without her being on board and trusting me and following me into these things, I wouldn't be able to do it. And so that relationship, your home is your first mission field. You have to have a good relationship with your wife and your children, and all of these things need to be in order before God can use you in the kingdom. It's almost like he uses your wife and your children as a training ground to develop you into what you need to be for him in the kingdom of heaven. And he spent the last 12 years of my life doing that, breaking me down and building me back up into what I needed to be for you guys. So I'm really proud of that. I'm honored to be a member of God's army. I'm honored to be a sheep in his herd. You know what I mean? And so, with that being said, self-reflection is a thing that I do constantly. I'm all the time going to the King and asking him to break down the hard parts of my heart and transform me into his likeness. And part of that are these daily disciplines that we're talking about. Part of that is learning how to be diligent, how to be disciplined, how to eat the right things, how to focus on controlling your flesh and your emotions, how to love your children in a way that's truly going to impact them and give them a good picture of what God actually is. And so I'm excited about it. I'm excited about 2026. I'm excited about the clinics. I'm excited about 310. We got big things going on at 310, and I'm super excited about the podcast. And I really hope the YouTube channel grows, the new channel grows. I've posted all the old episodes on there. There's no views, but it's a new YouTube channel, so that's to be expected. And really in the roping space, I brought a lot of followers over to the podcast from 310 Ranch Life and 310 EDU. So I need you guys to share this out. Like, share it with your friends, share the reels, repost the TikToks. Like, help me get the word out about the podcast, and maybe we'll get some new guests and stuff, and it'll be a lot of fun. But it's been a crazy year. It's been a crazy year, and I'm so thankful. And honestly, guys, my heart posture towards this thing is just to help. Is just to help. If I can help people down the road, they need it. I coach baseball. I have employees. And I walk around in the world and I see people who are just broken and hurting and have no hope. And they need the hope. And that's what I believe my story gives people, is hope. I believe me sitting here and sharing my struggles with you gives hope. That's what we want. It says in Revelation 12:11 that through the blood of the Lamb and their testimony, right, the enemy's defeated. So just being willing to share is huge. It's huge. So I got my buddy Taylor Davis. He was on an earlier episode of the podcast. He's looking at the book, working on it. Super excited about it. That was a labor of love too. Like, I am not a good editor. I'm not good at grammar. I'm not good at spelling. I'm not good at any of that stuff. And so I really got all my thoughts out pretty quick. But then when he sent the revisions, or like what he thought I should change, or kind of how to organize it all, really wasn't changing anything. It was just organizing in a way that would be good for a reader. I was like, dude, ugh. But I did it. And so we'll see where that goes. That's God's book. I literally say in the book, none of this comes from Dalton. This is from the King. If he wants to do something with it, he will. I'm simply just trying to follow commands at this point. I spent enough of my life not listening to God that now I'm just like, Lord, what do you want me to learn? What do you want me to do? Quote Jamie Winship. I would love to have Jamie Winship on here. If you've heard Jamie Winship stuff, like tag him in it or something, like I would love to have that guy on here to discuss identity, because he is just an absolute unit. But guys, it's going to be a great year. Go subscribe to the new YouTube channel. Help me out. I also started an Art of Suffering TikTok. So if you get your content through TikTok, uh, look up the Art of Suffering podcast on TikTok. We're going to have some stuff coming out on there. But I just got to separate all this stuff out. It got all muddied together, and it all needs to be its own thing, kind of. And so if you're interested in learning how to rope, that's going to be 310 EDU. If you're interested in becoming a better man, that's going to be on the Art of Suffering podcast. Both will complement each other as usual, but they just kind of need to be in their own algorithms. Anybody who's a content creator or on social media a bunch is going to understand this to a certain degree. But guys, thank y'all so much as always. This is just kind of an update, the last episode of the year, which is insane. So y'all be looking for a new episode every Monday and Friday. My goal is to be super consistent in a couple of things this year. The podcast is one of them. Eating healthy is one of them. Going to the gym is one of them. And just dialing it all in. And I'm excited to see what God is going to do with my obedience and the way he's going to shape me and the people around me because of this discipline, because of this obedience. Because we all know everyone around you learns from example, and I want to be the example. And so that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to pray for, and that's what I'm going to push towards, is being the example for my wife, my children, you guys, and the people on my path. It's going to be awesome. So keep an eye out for those new episodes. Share the episodes with anybody that you think needs it. Your husband, your wife, your kids. We're going to get after it, dude. I appreciate it so much. I love you guys. If you need me, email me at dalton@310edu.com. Leave a comment below. Never weaken.